Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for sharing space with me today. I am excited to share with you guys a practice that I hold near and dear to my heart, and a practice I also share with my clients. Journaling serves as a way of release, as a way to self regulate, and also a practice of self connection. Before jumping in, hello, my name is Raven. I am your self mastery guide, helping you to come home to yourself, to remember who you are and the power that you hold. It can be so easy to forget who we are. It can be so easy to be distracted and disconnected from ourselves. And in every video, in every word, every encouragement I share with you guys is with the prayer that you remember who the fuck you are, that you reclaim your power and you lean into that deeply and truly. As a chronic overthinker, having a way to synthesize my thoughts is medicinal and necessary. Living this human experience, it is common to reflect on embarrassing moments, things that frustrate us, and to have thoughts of the past. But often we ruminate on these occurrences and become detached from the present. We get so lost in the worry and the fear that we become what we think. We become warriors, reliving past experiences, defying space and time, and back into our trauma we go. Or the most ironic I find is being so consumed with worry about something that has not even happened, but that you fear will happen. A thought that you create out of thin air. It is baffling. It is baffling. I am guilty of this. Instead of giving ourselves permission to release, accept, trust, and have faith, or to value our present choices as a healing to what we didn't do or could not do in the past, we often use our mental energy and divine essence on thoughts that do not serve us. And trust me, I know you're not doing it on purpose. I imagine you're like me, and again, you're baffled. You're baffled by why would you even think such things about yourself? Why would I want to sit in feelings that only bring me down? The negativity bias was meant to keep us safe from lions, tigers, and bears. Because if we can remember when and where danger was presented, we can stay alive by overcoming it, avoiding it, or running away from it. But now we have mistaken just the thought of a what if as enough of a threat to make us focus on it. But what happens if we never move from rumination to releasing and accepting? We constantly replay old wounds. We live in old identities of ourselves because our thoughts are keeping us trapped in old beliefs. We stay stuck. And most of us are living on autopilot by Western society's design. We are overworked. We barely get 2 days to catch our breath when the weekend comes. And with all the things on our plate, it makes it challenging to be consistent with emotional hygiene habits that keep us grounded and clear. I have experienced a deep sense of loss of myself many times. Many times. So many times I didn't recognize myself. There's been many times I have felt so low, so hopeless, so detached from my bubbly nature. It made me question things, it made me question life. And every time that I felt that way, there was always an absence of self reconnection practices. And like any relationship, how can you expect to feel connected, seen, and heard if you don't sit down and connect with the person you love? We are so good at loving others and making time for their needs, and then turn around and neglect ourselves. And again, this is something I'm definitely guilty of. In fact, I became a master at this. I learned this early of how to anticipate somebody else's needs. Because in turn, for me, that meant safety. It meant being chosen. It meant not being abandoned. And I got so good at this. So good at this. And dare I say, it's what makes me great at what I do as an empath, as a healer, as a life coach. I'm able to not only read body language and interpret the words and the facial expressions of someone, but also the undercurrents, the things they don't say. And in the meantime of me doing all of this, I got wrapped up into people pleasing and dismissing my needs, my desires, or what's truthful to me because, again, hey, let me make sure this person is good. Let me check in with their emotional well-being and how they're doing. I really took that on as if it was my responsibility. And again, with all of us, having so much love in our hearts and having so much love to give, it's a shame that we neglect ourselves. This self-abandonment is where chaos thrives and our faith, confidence, and trust begin to decay. All of a sudden, you don't feel like yourself, and the emotional heaviness cascades over days, weeks, and sometimes months. And what's crazy is it may feel like all of a sudden, but it's been happening. It's been happening in the little moments, the small moments, the ones where you say yes when you really mean no, the moments when you elect to help someone or pick up a call knowing that you're feeling depleted and that you actually need to feel more restored, that your cup is not poured into, yet you elect to pour out of it anyway at your own expense. And again, I hear you that a lot of times it's done out of love, it's done out of care, but I want to uncover that malice. I want to uncover that lie, because love should not be at the expense of you. It should not cost you your peace of mind. It should not cost you energy that you do not have. It should not cost you feeling detach from yourself, because if I truly choose myself in this moment, I'm afraid that I will be abandoned. I'm afraid that it would cause an argument. I'm afraid that they won't like me. I'm afraid that things won't pan out the way that I want them to. Unchecked self abandonment leads us to feeling dysregulated, reaching for those quick fixes and quick hits of dopamine that never satisfy us, because the nourishment was never meant to be outside of you. And the fact that you keep sourcing your fulfillment from something or someone else is perhaps the reason your emptiness runs so deep. It can feel scary, overwhelming, to not be sure of how to be your own source of fulfillment. We live in a world where we were taught early, at a very young age, of how to get a gold star. We have adopted identities that, quote unquote, keep us safe, right? That if you learn to be the good girl, the good boy, then you'll get your gold star and you'll get some acknowledgement and you'll get a pat on the back and there will be no worries. You'll be safe. You'll be validated. You'll be seen. And that becomes addicting. That becomes the high that we chase. That becomes the source of power outside of ourselves that we deem as enough, as the fulfillment. And when that is gone, or when that is not as prominent as it once was, we start to feel empty. We start to feel lost. We start to feel like a fragment of ourselves. And it's all because we have allocated the source of our power, the source of our validation, the source of our value outside of ourselves. And we keep looking to these external experiences to tell us how to feel and who we are. And again, acknowledging, where are you sourcing your power? What are you allowing to tell you or to show you your worth? And how often are you tapping into that source for your validation? If you've been feeling empty and heavy, again, the depth of that emptiness is based on the value you put on external things. Coming back home to yourself is a daily practice. Ideally, regardless of what life presents, choosing yourself, being honest and true to who you are, and being your own safe space should be the baseline. Trusting your own authority and having only your word and God's be the final say that matters. I believe in the school of thought that we are shamans and healers, and if we give ourselves permission to be still, we can hear what medicine our spirits need. How I use journaling looks different from day to day. Sometimes journaling looks like a mind dump, 5 minutes of me just writing what I feel and the thoughts I have. Other times it's me calling out all that I am grateful for and what I'm looking forward to in my future. Most times it's prayer. sorting out my thoughts and asking God to uncover what I need to release or accept. There really is no right or wrong way to journal, so my invitation to you is just to express yourself in the way that feels medicinal, in a way that feels honest. And for those of you who want to journal to regulate and align yourself so that you feel clear and grounded and have a peace of mind, here are some prompts that you can explore. What words or emotions have I not expressed lately that have been on my mind? What have I been avoiding out of fear? What do I need to hear right now? If I fully trusted myself and believed that everything will work out in my favor, what would I take action on? What type of love and support do I desire in this season? And how can I provide this for myself? I'll leave you with this. Know that you are enough and that your authority is enough. Begin to separate yourself from your thoughts by becoming the observer. Know that every thought that you have, you do not have to choose to believe in. Remember, your authority is enough. And no matter how compelling or convincing those intrusive thoughts are, you have the final say. A journaling practice is so helpful in times of emotional heaviness, but I invite you to start to think of journaling as energetic hygiene, emotional hygiene. It's a practice that you keep up with and not just use when you need it the most. It can be helpful in figuring out how you feel, clearing your thoughts, ridding yourself of, rumination, putting it down on paper. And you ultimately become the writer, as cliche as that may sound, but you become the writer of your emotional experience and of your life. Know that you are enough and that you are powerful. Don't allow this world or even your thoughts to tell you anything different. Thank you so much for sharing time and space with me. I'm sending so much love your way. Bye.